Hey folks, any of you who have been following my channel know of my devastating shop fire that happened on January 19th. Today is July 30th and work is finally beginning on the new shop. So the guys were here today, dug out and started on the foundation. They should be back shortly to start putting in the forms and getting everything ready for the pour. So there's going to be the forms, the insulation, heat pipes, rebar, all that jazz. Nice thing about this is I don't have to do it this time. Somebody else is going to do it. They've got their tools. A lot fancier machine than anything that I have around here. But yeah, this shop is going to be incredibly much easier for me to build because I just sit back and watch. Anyways, here's the end of day one. I'll try and get some shots or at least some photographs to slip in here as things progress. All right, we are on day 3. Haven't got to the rebar yet, but they've done a great job of compacting all the gravel and getting the foam down. This is much fancier than the job that I did when I built it the first time, but I guess this is what happens when you get professionals in. So anyways, day 3. Here's day 4. Looks like they've got the rebar down. Took all day to do that rebar. But yeah, rebar and poly down. That's as far as they got today. So I'm guessing tomorrow they'll be back with the heat pipes. Well, we'll see. It's been a while. It's been raining pretty much non-stop for the last few days, so day 5 took a while to get here. It's about a week and a half after day 3. So anyways, they've got the heat pipes down. Apparently the inspector is coming tomorrow to inspect this, and then I'm guessing and hoping they'll be doing the pour later this week. It's Tuesday now, so if they do the inspection on Wednesday, maybe they'll pour on Thursday or Friday. But we'll see. Looks like a little bit of a gap in the heat pipes. I don't know if that's too much or not. The rest of the floor looks fine. Maybe we'll get a cold spot. Oh well, other than that, it looks really good and professional. Okay, so I took off for a few days to Clear Lake to go camping with my family, and I came back to this. Look at that. And we've got a bunch of materials delivered and ready to go. So yeah, so I have a new floor. The new floor comes up to the old floor. I am not exactly sure what I'm going to do with the joint between the two, because that's where the styrofoam is from the old pad where it meets the new. Here where my rear door was before, I've either got to fill this with some Quickcrete so it doesn't collect water, or chip it out the rest of the way so that it drains. So yeah, we'll figure that out, but that'll be after the building's built. Anyways, there's the nice new pad, The framers were out today to just start looking through their materials and get the lines marked as to where the walls are going. So yeah, not bad for, we'll call this day 6 and 7. But yeah, it's about a week after the day 5 portion of this video, but things are moving. All right, this is day what, 7, 8, I don't know. None of these are single day at a time, so anyways, whatever it is. Today they were out framing all my walls. So looks like they got 2 of them done today at least. So we got the north wall, complete with the small overhead door, as well as the west wall, which also has a hole framed into it for my exhaust fan. That'll be great. I'll be able to actually ventilate the fumes when I'm painting tractors in there. That'll be good. So yeah, there's progress today. Tomorrow they're going to bring a skid steer and actually stand these walls up, and who knows, by the end of the week they're talking like they're going to have metal on the side of the building and everything up. So we'll see. I'm not going to hold my breath that they get that far, but they've made some progress at least. All right, it is Tuesday and we've got 2 walls, and the third wall is pretty much ready to stand up. So hopefully tomorrow, by the time that I'm home, they have the third wall up and they'll start putting these rafters on top. Skid steer's over there with the gin pole on it for putting the rafters up. So yeah, I'm pretty happy here. Progress is coming along a lot quicker than if I had to build this place. Okay, welcome to the end of the day Wednesday. Look at that. Not only did they put up a third wall, they also put up the fourth and all of the rafters. Pretty good progress for one day. Looks like a building now. It's nice. Now tomorrow I'm taking off to Rolag, Minnesota. You'll see the video on the channel probably before you see this video. So I'm not going to get the rest of the progress, but we'll include whatever I can from the time lapse from the security camera. But yeah, it's amazing once they get started exactly how fast things come along. Okay, next update. It is now September 9th, so we've been back from Rolag for a week and a couple days already. While we were in Rolag, they did manage to put in the windows and the doors, the man doors. And then they didn't show up at all last week, so not real great performance there, but yeah, I emailed this morning and asked if we're still on track to have this shop done by October 7th. Sorry, this was yesterday morning. Emailed them, and lo and behold, 2 hours later, the guys showed up and started doing the steel. So we have the west wall, a little bit of the south wall, and the east wall. So we're getting some progress again, at least. It's a lot like looking at a ghost, though. It looks just like the old shop, so, which is by design. It's being done right from the same drawings and the exact same colors, so it should look the same, but all the same, it's like looking at a ghost. So hopefully by the end of this week they've at least got the steel on the rest of the building. I think they said that the overhead doors are showing up next week. They can't really install those until they've got the steel up in the ceiling, and that's not going to be till after all the insulation goes in. So still some work to do. Hopefully my next update is showing with all the steel on the building at least, and hopefully the insulation's in, and they still have to put the roof together too, steel for the roof. So we'll see. Hopefully by the end of the week I've got an enclosed building at least. Okay, it's been a few days. First inspection is passed, and they've moved on to putting the insulation up. It's a good start. Also, the one overhead door is installed. They've got the windows in the wrong spot. They've got to move them down to the third panel from the bottom, because I would have to get a ladder to look out those, but I don't know if they thought they were just for skylights or what. But yeah, at least we got some progress coming here. Okay, here we are. It's October 2nd. Nobody showed up for about a week. I sent an email into the project team yesterday, and lo and behold, a work crew showed up today finally. So they've got most of the poly up. At least the walls are completely done. Half the roof almost. They still don't have the ridge cap on. They still don't have the end of the roof sealed. And I'm guessing, I'm finding out at the same time you are, yeah, they have not finished out here yet. So at least there's some progress. Hopefully they show up tomorrow and continue. We've got a little bit of OSB on the walls. So theoretically, if they show up tomorrow and actually put in a full day's work, we should have OSB on all the walls at a very minimum, and poly on the roof. And I would expect they should be able to put in the rain cap. That should be, or the ridge cap. That should be very quick for them. So we'll see. It's supposed to start raining this weekend, so hopefully they get things closed up. Today is October 10th, so we're a little over a week after the last update there. You can see they've got the door on the wall. The walls are up and the walls are painted. They just got painted today finally. The painter was supposed to show up Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday at the latest, so that he could get painting. Today's Friday. So the other guys were scheduled to be here to put the tin on the ceiling today. So they came this morning, spent about 4 hours, and well, they got that much J-channel up. I'm not sure what else they did with their time here this morning, but that's par for the course. Anyways, the electrician is scheduled to come on Wednesday, and I've had guarantees from them that they'll be back. They'll get this ceiling together before then. So I won't hold my breath that it's going to be on time, but if any of the bunch that are involved actually put in an effort, it'll be those guys. So hopefully they show up and get that done. They have strapped the entire ceiling. Funny thing about the ceiling is last week was Friday, so the day after the last update. They were in here and they put all this poly up. Then the ridge cap was still open. I asked the guy, aren't you guys going to put the ridge cap on? He said, no, nobody told us to. So I said, well, you might want to talk to somebody because it's supposed to rain all weekend. And sure enough, it did rain all weekend. But yeah, about 5 minutes after I talked to him, I looked out the window and saw that they were up there installing the ridge cap. So his boss must have thought it was a good idea too. Anyways, we're getting so close I can feel it now. Get that ceiling up, get the electrical in here next week. Then hopefully they've just got the finishing touches. They call the 1x6 baseboards. They were supposed to build it the way that I had it before, where the 1x6s were on the bottom layer and the OSB didn't start until the top of those. But there's a misunderstanding, so they put the OSB right down to the floor, so they're going to put that stuff on and seal it. Still got all of the finishing touches around the windows and doors. And then the last thing for them to do I'm told right now the schedule is October 20th. they're going to be grinding and epoxying this floor. So I picked out the pattern for the epoxy. That's kind of a bonus. I didn't have epoxied floor before. I asked them to make sure that they at least sealed the cement. But yeah, looks like they're going to epoxy, so that's great. Anyways, next update. Hopefully there's more on these walls and on that ceiling. Just a quick update. It's October 14th, so it's after Thanksgiving now. They've put the ceiling up. It looks mostly good. I might be getting fussy now, but I don't know if you can see on the camera how much that's, there you go. So they're gonna have to do something to address that. The rest of it looks all right. I'm not gonna be super anal. It is a garage after all. However, you can see this in the previous update, but I hadn't noticed yet. Look at the size of that dip under the door. So I sent them some photos. They sent back saying that they thought the rain came in just because there was a south wind. So I brought a flat edge and put it out against there, and I called BS on it, and yeah, we'll see. They have to fix that before they put the epoxy on. So anyways, we're ready for the electrician at least. He's supposed to be here tomorrow. So tomorrow's Wednesday through Friday. Hopefully he gets all of his stuff done, and then the door guy can come back and he can move those windows down and set his stops. They can blow in all this insulation. They can put down the baseboards, fix the concrete, and then do the epoxy. October 25th. So today's Saturday. They spent Thursday and Friday epoxying the floor. Looks amazing. I can't wait to walk on it and see what it's like. See how rugged this is. You still see light in that door. I've raised the concern with them quite a few times. I think it would have been easier for them to fix with some self-leveling cement before they put the epoxy down. Now they got a little bit of trouble. They're telling me once they set the door properly that it'll seal that. I'm not going to hold my breath. I'll give them a chance with it, but I'm not super thrilled with that. It would have been such a simple fix for them. But anyways, the electricians have completely finished. I can't remember if that was in the last little update as well. The hydro line is connected. However, I don't have the meter moved over yet. This feeds the electricity to the house, so they need to move the meter from the house to the shop and then hook up the wires from the shop to the house. So the electrician should be back on Monday to do that. After that, it's the baseboards going on, and then the trim around the doors and windows. And then, I hate to say it out loud, but I think it might be time for the final walkthrough and move in. So exciting times. Took way too long, but at least we're almost to the end of this nightmare. Finally, it is October 28th. And look, there's the lights. The doors don't work yet. We still need the guys to come set up the openers, but there's power. Everything's set. There's heat. However, the heaters aren't shutting off, so they still have to figure that out. I'm sure that they will. The electrician was actually the best part of this entire ordeal. Those guys are reasonable to deal with. The others less so, but we'll get there. They still have to fix this. This is my big major concern right now. How well it shows up. There you go. See that shiny? That's water coming in through that gap in the floor that they still haven't fixed. Even though they've epoxied now, when they could have put thin self-leveling cement in the hole before epoxying, but so now they need to come back. They're going to try and fill it with epoxy apparently. We'll see how that works out. They may end up grinding and having to put down the self-leveling cement yet, but we'll see. But yeah, anyways, October 28th. My final walkthrough is going to be on Friday, November the 1st. All right, here I am with the final update of this video. It is Saturday, November 1st. I goofed up my date in the previous clip. The walkthrough date was actually on Halloween, October 31st. And, well, as you can see in the background, I've started moving my stuff in. A little bit of a mess to start, but I've got to build a platform for my new workbench to go on, so it matches the height of my new welding table, my new air compressor. It's right there. Gonna be building an office in the corner there. But yeah, at long last, November 1st. So it took from July 30th when they broke the ground here to November 1st. They're still working on that dip under the floor though. They put some epoxy down under the door to try and raise it a little bit. They did adjust the pressure on the door and it does seem to seal it. I can't see light through it anymore. We'll see how well that perseveres over the years. I have a feeling that once that seal starts wearing out, that might not seal quite as well, but we'll see. They're doing what they can with the epoxy. I wish they would have fixed everything before the epoxy went down, but there's not much we can do about it now. I'm not going to complain too loudly. Building looks gorgeous. Electricians forgot one plug up there, so hopefully they come back next week and they can put that in. And then I can put up my camera and clock and all that stuff. But yeah, it's been a long haul. Happy to be in here. Can't wait to get back to doing different projects. I've got to get my car hauler trailer in here, check out the axles on it. I've got exhaust manifold issues on the Ram. And then of course I've got the W6 and the B are sitting outside on the other side of that camper trailer waiting to get in here and get to work on them. So anyways, thanks for following along on this shop build, and we'll see you in the next video.